Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the pit. It's Josh Da Mosh once again here on a Thursday night, bringing in some of the usual suspects. But first, I want to kind of introduce one of the new full-time members that needs no introduction. As y'all know, y'all's fearless leader of the Southwest wrestling family. I like it. What we're going to be doing going forward in the pit is we will be streaming in both groups. What's up, Matthew? Going forward from now on, like we did it a few weeks ago, I believe, just to talk about, or was it last week even?
2 weeks ago, yeah.
About, we were talking about the speaking out movement and whatever, and how close to home that was for all of us. But then after good thought and just trying to grow this, so because we have such good discussions on here that I think we do. Seems like we get pretty good feedback. Like I'm tooting my own horn, but feel like to do a lot better if we can get them out to more people. You know what I mean? So to grow our groups, grow the show, grow our voices, to get out, to the masses. You know what I mean? Yeah. What's good, David? Sorry, there's guys saying what's up, Matthew. So with that going forward, what's up, Philip? If any of y'all have any segment ideas, because we're going to try to get a little more organized as well going forward. We can do graphics. We got a lot of capabilities with the software that we use, or this platform that we use. If you have anything, reach out to me or even Brad about segment ideas. It doesn't have to be every week. It can be once a month. We have some experts.
We love content. We love content.
That's what that's what I'm all about. That's what I'm all about. And speaking of that, we'll bring in a couple of our experts. My ninja, fittingly wearing the Mercedes shirt.
The GOAT
shirt, and he's our women's wrestling and indie wrestling expert. And we'll bring in our lucha numero uno. So just for examples, these guys would come up with segments. So if y'all have any other ideas, I'm talking to the groups at this time. Hit us up. Even hit Juan up, hit Brandon up, hit Brad. We're all. I know my name's on the show, but we're all in this together because we all got the same goal. We want to spread the word and educate. And we're worried about Juan's safety right now.
We really are worried about Juan's safety.
I'm like, he's streaming and driving, the worst combination. I'm like, come on.
Hey, Clarissa. And I like that, Carlos.
I do too. It looks good.
Do the handshake. Yeah. But yeah,
I do it like rocket power. Wiggy. Anyway,
so we'll start off. We're gonna try to have guests every week as well, and we have a great guest already here that we'll bring on in a minute. Remedy, he's interesting character that we all love to watch work. We're all fans of his work, and we're gonna get to know him and talk about stuff, and then we need to block this fool.
Please.
Get out of here.
I love pineapple.
Please.
Okay, Brad, you're gone. That was quick.
Like we didn't know.
And that's the end of our podcast. Deuces.
I feel like I was such an advocate for it before COVID that this should have carried over. Like the echo should still be sounding that pineapple goes on pizza.
So anyway, moving on. We're going to start with a little lucha segment about some interesting stuff that goes on in the business that a lot of times us as fans don't get to hear about, really, unless you got a show like The Pit to listen to, or my boy David with Kayfabe Connection. Those guys are really good at bringing in content first.
Yep.
That's why I follow them, Kayfabe Connection. I can't say it enough. But things like that, you don't get to find out these things. So Juan, go ahead and don't die and Not that you're streaming and doing anything else, but now talk as you're driving.
Yeah. Let me get this out of the way so I can focus on driving.
Yeah,
All right,
Lesson
so
learned, kids. Don't drink and drive. But anyway, Juan, continue.
yeah. I'll drink while you
well,
drive.
it's a little too late for that.
God damn it.
Okay, so a few weeks ago in Mexico City to be more exact, state of Mexico, there was a show done by IWRG. So they had like this. It was supposed to be a 2 night event, and so first night went by. They had a great show. They took all the preventions and and did the right things to be able to run a show without putting anybody in danger. That was like checking everybody's temperature, disinfecting everything, even disinfecting the young wrestlers. So I was pretty impressed about that, because they really took all the precautions. They did everything the right way. So the show passed. They had a pretty good show, and then next thing you know, the next day they get a letter from the commission, the Lucha Libre Commission in Mexico City, saying that the promoter was getting his license suspended notice because they were not supposed to run shows and due to the pandemic. So I find that kind of like a hypocrite thing to do because uh, AAA was running some shows like when all this pandemic started. I don't know if y'all saw the tournament. I
Yep.
think it was like a weekly thing.
Mhm.
But yeah, they ran shows in Mexico City and surrounding area. They also were taking all the right precautions. They were cleaning everything, disinfecting and whatnot. So they never got anything from the commission saying that they couldn't have the shows, that they were gonna get fined, that they were gonna get their license suspended. But this other promotion did, where I feel like that's kind of bullshit because if you're not gonna do it for one promotion, then don't do it for all. Or if you're gonna do it for one, do it for all. And I was kind of upset about it because they did everything the right way, the way they were supposed to. There was no
Oh,
see what the problem is, and everything was done how it should have been done. And yeah, the commission said no. You know what? You're gonna get your license suspended, and pretty much that's all they said. So the promoter was like, okay, I'm getting my license suspended. Oh, they also said that the wrestlers who participated in that show were gonna get their license suspended as well,
wow. So
and
you would have to
possible,
challenge as well.
yeah, and possible fines were gonna be given to all the guys. So the promoter was like, okay, you know what? If you're gonna find any of the wrestlers, that's fine. Fine them. I'm gonna pay all the fines for everybody. And because of that, the commission was like, okay, cool. You're gonna pay the fines. And later on, they released a statement saying that because of the actions that the promoter had taken and how he was taking responsibility for everything, they were not going to find any of the wrestlers, but his license was still going to be suspended until further notice. And later on, they released another statement, and pretty much they just reinstated what was said already. No one got fined, not even the promoter got fined,
Okay.
but he still can't have any more shows, so he couldn't have the second part of his tournament. Now the fucked up thing is like, don't be fucking with smaller promotions just because they don't have the same projection as AAA. And then all this shit has happened, like worse shit has happened in the the wrestling world, and they have never spoken about it. They have never done, taken any actions. But just this one time, just because you want to, be an ass and fuck around with people, I guess you can say the lower people, because they're not AAA. You come out and be like, oh yeah, you're not supposed to do this and that, blah blah blah. So
Do you think it's possible that the AAA kind of influenced the commission to do that, or you think it's just solely the commission just doing it on their own?
I think it's the commission doing it on their own.
Oh, I think you stayed on this car or something. Can't hear you now.
Put a mask on.
There you go.
I think all I heard was
There you He's going.
he wanted to do something on his own as far as the promotions.
Cool. All right. Well, we'll just leave it at that, I guess. I had more questions for him, but let him handle his business. He's handling money business right now, so that's important.
Right. Make sure you wear a mask, Juan. Don't breathe without it.
Yeah. So, that's messed up, and how politics get in the way sometimes, probably. When people are trying to do the right thing, which, I mean, I know, some people say doing a show, period, isn't the right thing, no matter what precautions. I mean, everyone has their own opinion. But, I mean, if you are going to have a show, to try to do the best you can with what we know. Especially if people are already doing shows. Like, they weren't the first ones, as he said, so that's kind of fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way the business goes and the way things affect, this pandemic, man. It's really disheartening sometimes. I've been fighting to do a show we're like, 4 months late now. It's been trying my third time, and it's already looking like that might fade too. Sorry to say. But things aren't getting better, man. So wear y'all's damn masks. Stay safe.
For real. And don't be one of those ignorant funks that try to go above and beyond the law. I mean, considering who we'll have later on, this shit is serious. So if you care about your health or care about staying here on this earth, abide by what's going on right there so you don't get this damn virus. And if you got something worse than corona, don't mix it with that, because God forbid, if you are gone to this world because of something stupid that could have been easily been precautioned, joke's on you guys. So please be safe out there.
Yeah, so Brad, I guess that's a good segue to move in, and I'll let you introduce our esteemed guest that I know you're looking forward to chatting with.
I'm excited about this one. Tonight's guest is somebody that Josh and I both had the same idea. And I was lucky enough that he was free. I don't think really the man needs any introduction to the Texas wrestling scene, so we'll just bring on Remedy. Remedy, how's it going today, bro?
What's going on? What's going on?
Welcome to the pit, brother.
What's good?
What's up, man? How are y'all doing?
Doing great. How about yourself?
I'm doing good, doing good. Hey, hold on. You want to sit right here, or what's up? Okay, I'm talking to my son.
All good, man. All good.
So I figured, we will hop right into it.
How are y'all doing?
A lot of people have been waiting to have you come on. So my basic question is, what's going on in the world of Remedy right now?
I survived Corona. Dealing with some situations, but other than that, man, I'm alive. I'm healthy. I have a cough from Corona that kind of messes with me. The residual from it is it's garbage.
Yeah.
But I'm good.
Well,
there's no wrestling really. Sorry, I'm sorry.
No, that's
You're
my
good.
next question. I was gonna say, what's it like without wrestling for you?
Just like life. A lot of people mainly depend on wrestling as their income, and mainly depend on wrestling as it gets them by week by week. It gets them by their month, their personality, stuff like that. Man, I work. I just look at wrestling as another day to make money.
Nice. What originally got you into wrestling?
A lot of people have the stories of like they watched it with a loved one, or they were flipping through and they just saw it. I grew up in a damaged home, so a lot of stuff went on around me, and I remember I kind of caught wrestling backwards. But the first thing I saw was the Sting Hogan feud in WCW, and I would just watch wrestling to escape from everything around me. And I liked it so much. And then they're like, hey, man, he used to be blonde, like a surfer. And I'm like, oh, man, let me look at that. And then I kind of went backwards into wrestling.
Nice.
So no real love story watching it with somebody. It was just an escape from my environment.
I've known a few other of talent that we've even had on this show that, you know, they wrestle for, you know, to deal with PTSD and other alcoholism, like other things too, that they used it. There was a getaway, a release, therapy, however you want to do it. As even fans, I know, speaking for myself, it's my disconnection from the real world. And if I didn't have it, I don't know if I would even be here talking to y'all right now. So I can totally get where you're coming from.
Wrestling is it's funny because there's two outcomes of it. Wrestling is for people, it's bad to say, but a lot of people come into wrestling broken, wrestlers and fans. They're looking for an escape. They're looking to be somebody that they're not. Their personality, their character, everything. Either you can heal yourself and build that, or you can hang around other broken people and become more damaging to yourself.
Yeah, that's a good point. And we try to be the first part of that, not the latter.
Yeah.
And so far, I could say I'm, you know, not the latter. Or like I said, probably again, I wouldn't be here talking to y'all right now.
Me neither. I'd probably be in jail.
Yeah, I mean, I would, if I was lucky, I'd probably be in jail, as bad as I was. But yeah, it's
yeah, I don't want to experience that experience again. But anyway, yeah,
it's a great thing though to have for us that, you know, need it and use it the right way, and don't use it as something to pull us down the way we were headed before. You know, so that's a good. That was a great breakdown, Brad.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, getting into wrestling specifically, where were you training at? Like how did you get that foot in the door, and how did you get from being somebody that was like, I'm gonna go beat up people, to being somebody that actually gets to go and beat up people?
Or in his old persona terms, fuck shit up.
Yeah. So it's a shocker to a lot. I got into wrestling. I'm one of Booker T's kids.
Nice.
So I was original PWA out in the Pasadena Convention Center. I left before it became reality of wrestling. I think I was there for one show when it was reality of wrestling, but I will always appreciate Booker for what he's done, because he didn't have to do the things he did for me. I didn't come in with the full tuition. He just saw that, hey man, there's this kid, or this young guy who comes in every day, who cleans my equipment, who does anything that I ask him to do because he wants to do this. And he let me in, and I had a notebook, and I shut up and I listened, and I tried to absorb everything like a sponge.
Nice.
So,
and from the outside looking in, that's a great reference of learning the business from someone like that. But like I said, from the outside looking in, I'm not a trained wrestler. I mean, his credentials kind of speak for themselves, and from where he came from as well, his backstory. That's pretty awesome.
I've always took the mentality of, I heard from a wrestler. I don't know who it is. It was probably Shawn Michaels that said it. That if you think you know everything about wrestling, then quit because you're unteachable. And I take that in life. If you think you know everything about something, well, then maybe you should quit because no one can teach you anything. Why are you in the position that you were in? You should be in a bigger position if you know so much.
Those are words to live by in general. Yes.
In everything that you do. Yeah, absolutely. Even from the top to the bottom, if you're uncoachable, that's the word we use for it in the call center world. You know, is that agent coachable? And when you have to tell somebody no, that's a huge red flag, because now I know that you're going to do whatever you want to do regardless, and you're a hazard unless I get lucky and you do it right by accident most times even.
Yeah.
So as you were training, like as you're learning, walk me through one of your most memorable training memories, like something that really stands out in training. Maybe not advice, but one like a match or a time or a lesson you learned, something like that.
Okay. So I think it was the first time hitting the ropes. Like, I didn't know how to hit them properly, but I saw everybody do it, and I think it was they showed me, and I got tired because they want you to hit the ropes 5 minutes consistently. They don't want you to break your stride or your speed, and I didn't put my arm to protect myself, and I went right through the ropes and flipped and landed on my feet. And I just looked in complete shock, and they're like, that's the one in a million. Never do it again.
Nice.
So,
you went through the second and the middle and the top rope, or over the top rope?
in the middle and top.
Who was
What are you
it?
about to do?
Who was it that did that? Big Boss Man. Who's the other guy? Was it Akeem that did that as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. That is a good one. That is pretty. So, give me an example of a hard lesson learned in training. Give me like a time that it just, damn, I had learned that a better way.
No, leave it alone. Man, a hard time in training. I think it was I was trying to teach somebody how to do a sunset flip.
Okay.
And just hold on. You could have went the other way. That's my son. He just wouldn't.
Stupid ass.
He just wouldn't base.
Not your son, a friggin' Nastico.
Sorry, go ahead.
He just wouldn't base, and he every time I went over him, he would just crumble, and I lawn darted on my head, and I messed up my neck, and I'm like, all right, man, we're gonna do this one more time, or you're gonna have to run. And we did it one more time, and he did the same exact thing, and I had to leave. I was not in the mood of teaching anymore, so I went home.
Yeah, I would be too. So literally, you're trying to complete a sunset flip, just taking a dive right into the mat. I would be pretty pissed too, man. Do you have anything to say to Nastico while he's in here bothering everybody? If he likes to pop in here for a few minutes.
Just read.
Look, let him pop in. Oh, I got the Andre Giant hair. Yeah, I know. I'm Deathmatch Andre.
I love it. I got tons of Deathmatch questions for you.
Like, that's a bad thing.
I love it.
Anything like Andre, yeah, whoa, good one.
It's not a thing at all.
Exactly. I mean,
Just don't get body slammed. That's all.
That kind of segues into my next question. Remedy's got so many gimmicks throughout the years, so many different characters that you've portrayed, so many different ideologies, I guess, of your character. What's been your favorite character, if you will, or however you
disable the comments, please? Thank you.
Man, I'm not worried about the comments. If they were bold enough, they would say something without a hidden account.
Ooh.
You know who that is. You know who that is. That's
Drop the killer cast on your mofos.
Man, isn't it?
Hey,
I
I put it like this. I think Biss said it. What was it last time? Don't say anything to a wrestler that you wouldn't say to their face.
Yeah.
And I've made fans legitly leave shows because I will stop in the middle of the match and stare at them. Oh, it's Paul.
Exactly. That's why he's a Facebook user, and he
That's
should not
Remedy
comment.
Oh, it's Paul. That's pretty. That's yeah.
Yep. Moving on.
So characters.
Yeah.
Okay. The Killer Cash character was kind of given to me. I was typecast into something that I knew nothing. I didn't feel the character. I didn't understand it. They kind of like, well, we want this, and nobody would give me detail of what they want. When I wrestled as me, it was just me having fun, me not caring. But I hated wrestling, so I left. And this go around is my second time back into wrestling, and I feel like I've become what I've set out. I've become a remedy of just what I didn't like about myself and what I didn't like about wrestling.
Nice. I would have to agree. I missed a lot of the initial run up because I wasn't in the wrestling scene for a long time.
I can speak on that.
Coming into indie wrestling, Remedy was easily something that easily fascinated me. I quit my first trip to ACW, caught my eye. So I agree. I think that I look forward to seeing that character anytime. Anytime Remedy's booked on a show, I want to check it out. I want to.
And it's a good thing you brought that up because I've known Remedy right here since 2011 when he debuted in ACW as Killer Cash. And as he just mentioned, finding his character, finding his groove, hitting up with the catch phrase, fuck shit up, pretty much. He was basically the Smurf killer, just murdering the Smurf Nation and press forward with all different types of characters. So he was that big badass powerhouse who literally just fucked shit up as his hashtag was stated. So yeah, he's done a lot of shit throughout the business.
That leads me to my next question. What matches are out there for Remedy? Like when this is all up, what matches are Remedy looking for? Who are you looking to take on?
Wesley Crane, Dmitry Alexandrov. Man, I don't know, man. I was always to the point where wrestlers have a top 10 list of who they want to wrestle. I had one for a moment, and it's my point of, I don't care. You should want to come after me, not me come after you. I have nothing to prove. All I do is I torture people, I try to pull them apart, and you should take that as, you know what, I'm going to try to slay this monster.
Oh, yeah.
So
I really like that.
Open invitation to anybody who wants some. They can
get it.
I like that. I like that. I have to agree. I think Remedy versus Dimitri would be a killer match, especially given the time that it needs. I wouldn't want that to be a bullshit throwaway match. I'd want you guys to have a solid 20 to 25 minutes to go out there and bang shit out, because the two of you, man, that would be a battle.
Now, we've had a match at ACW before.
One-on-one?
Yeah, we did. I stuck skewers in his head.
I was there for that one. I'm trying to recall because I've been with you guys for so many years, and Jesus, you've been through a lot of matches over the years. I think some of my favorites out of you were your more recent ones. I'm trying to recall, which leads me to my question: who's your favorite person to work with, and which match?
Who's my favorite?
Mm-hmm.
Masada.
Oh, I thought it was your son.
Yeah. Masada's my favorite to work with, either against or tagging. But a lot of wrestlers kind of go out and they have like a plan. They have a game book. Me and him, we don't talk to each other until we're in the ring. And it's like I call him my brother. That's my blood, my blood brother. Legit. I love that dude to death.
That's my son's
Just let the wrestling do the talking.
Yeah.
I love it.
And matches with Scott Summers.
God, I miss Russ. I gotta hit him up after this.
Nice. So, what pushed you into deathmatch wrestling specifically? Like, what made you say, you know what, I want to go in there and do that shit?
So, when I tagged with Masada, I sat and pretty much was under the listening tree with Masada for 2-3 years altogether. And he always tried to get me into deathmatch wrestling. And I was like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. My son wants to say hello. Hold on.
Come
Say
on.
hello.
Everyone's welcome in the pit.
Welcome.
Got the black green lantern shirt on and everything was good.
Oh man. So lost my train of thought.
We're talking about you.
So Scott Summers got hurt, and I was asked to take his place. And I was like, hell, man, I got my head busted open last Sunday at ACW. How can it get any worse? So, and Deathmatch Andre was born.
And you went 2 matches that night.
Yes.
George
I poured lemon juice into somebody's eyes.
Yep.
Yeah. George Gatton and Alex Colon.
Yep. Which, just to point out the lemon juice spot, if you go back and watch it, that's actually one of my favorite spots because you can literally see George Gatton on the edge, and as Remedy pours this lemon juice down his forehead, the blood will clear, and then you'll see these 4 little drops of blood start to come out from the fork again. Like, legit, George got stabbed with a fork.
Thank God there was no matches and fires with that. Otherwise, that would be super hazardous. But anyway.
No, it was a great night. I enjoyed it. So of that night, of those 2 matches, which one did you personally enjoy more? Not a knock on the other guy, but just which of the matches?
My match with Alex Colon, because it was the point in the match where I opened up the ring and tried to slam him through it. And he ended up getting the best of me and covering up the boards back, and I ended up busting through the ring like Jason. So
that was a legit spot.
Which, if you ever land on bare boards in a ring, it hurts. Hurts so bad.
So I did hear someone say one time that taking a bare board spot was one of the more painful things you can do in wrestling as opposed to many of the other deathmatch spots. I was like, damn.
Dude, I remember back in the day, Athena and Rachel Summerlin. Athena did her double knees on Rachel Summerlin in a bare board full of barbed wire. I'm like, that shit is no joke.
So what was it like for you getting asked,
to
getting asked to just come on in the death match to do 2? Because you did 2 that night. So for you, was it a big decision to say, okay, well, not only 1, but I'll do 2, and against Cologne?
So I didn't know. I didn't know that was going to happen until I got there. I thought I was just going to do 1, and that was it. And they're like, "No, we got you doing 2." So, and I was like, "Oh, okay." I watched this guy throw a whole bicycle at Andy Dalton's head in the first match, and you could hear the thud that it made. And I'm like, "Oh man, okay, this is going to be interesting."
That moment is one of my top 5 all time wrestling. It was my first live death match, and I agree that bicycle spot, it was a game changer in that room. Like for those of us that have been out there sweating for hours, drunk, ready for shit, like when that spot happened, you could tell the whole room shifted into overdrive. Man, everybody was like, "All right, let's mess some shit up."
Yeah, that's when they knew that the shit was real, because the video doesn't do it justice. When you hear that thud, it's just otherworldly.
Yeah. Agreed. So when you got approached for the second one, you were obviously quickly to say yes, or was there any hesitations or anything?
No, I was like, all right, I'm down. I'm down because it's a no ring death match. So I immediately thought of Fight Club.
Yeah.
And I'm like, shit, man, I'm down. This will be fun.
Ooh, that's a good question. If you want to pop Paul's question up there. Do you typically like to call your matches, or do you do a collaborate effort? That's a good question.
I come from books, and the book has always kind of taught us on going on the fly, because if you call your whole match, then it's not organic, it's not natural. Say if something happens and there's a mess up, you watch as a wrestler messes up and they immediately do it again. Yeah. And it's just like, you know what? I'm not going to make any mistakes because we're not going to try anything like that.
Right.
So if we mess up, guess what? I'm going to capitalize. I'm going to beat you up, and we'll figure it out.
So to segue off that, do you ever work on new moves and feel like, okay, I've been working on this for a couple months and I feel like this might be the guy to show this shit to and try to work this one?
I've seen a couple. Trust.
So I used to use the Boss Man Slam. Okay. I used to use the Boss Man Slam, and I always got a good reaction from it. But I know that Brett McKenzie does it. And it's just, I never wanted to take away from another wrestler. And it was just like, I have respect for Brett. So I'm like, all right, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I also think his looks better than mine. I just rotate more. The finish that I use now, that's my cradle flatliner, I came up with that because I've never seen it done.
Right.
I've never seen it done. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to use it.
Oh, yeah.
What's a move you've tried to incorporate into your arsenal that you eventually just had to be like, fuck it, I'm never going to pull that. Like, this one's never going to work for me.
I used to do a Samoan drop, and I liked it, but I felt like I just kind of killed everybody on it.
I can imagine from that high up.
Yeah.
Not to mention the weight and momentum. Boom.
Yeah. I have a submission that I've been working on that I haven't showed anyone yet, which is pretty much a praying chokehold. That's the best way to describe it.
Is it kind of like an arm triangle of some sorts, like something to that nature, or?
Kind of, but my back isn't. Well, my chest isn't to the person's back. My side is. My chest is towards the side, so it's kind of off.
Huh.
So I use my leverage and grab on.
Hmm.
So
All right.
We can get back to real wrestling, seeing wrestling again. Can't wait to see.
I know.
Oh
Speaking
yeah.
of which,
yeah,
I know you recently had the run in with COVID, and you mentioned that to us. Like, walk us through what that was like for you. I mean,
What made you get tested? What made you have what? Where did it
so
start?
okay, so I'm gonna set the record straight because I know a lot of people have been bashing the one company because I wrestled at MPX the weekend before.
Yeah.
I didn't
right,
get it at MPX. I know exactly where I got it from. I'm a bouncer. I work at
right,
bars. I know when I left work that night that something was up. I'm really in tune to my body, and I noticed I'm like, and I got a sore throat. I wasn't really yelling because I yell to get everybody out the club at night, and I wasn't really yelling, but my throat hurts. So the first day, I really didn't feel anything but the sore throat. The second day, I kind of felt a little achy. And then the third day is like when the flu hit and I was down. And I thought that it was like one of those 24-hour viruses. Like you'll feel like shit for a day, but you'll wake up the next day and you'll feel great. But it never happened. I never felt great. Um, so I felt better on Friday and I went to work, but I was just in so much pain. Like it felt like I did like a full body workout. Not knowing that I was sick at the time, but I was outside at a back door that nobody comes through. So I had no interaction with anybody. I had a face mask on and gloves. And I remember I left work, and at the time, um, other people were sick, and they're like, "We need to go to the hospital." And when we went, and the doctor was just like, "Hey, man, all y'all are sick." It was like, I thought it was the flu. He's like, "Man, flu season's over. Y'all sound like y'all got COVID." And when I heard that, I'm like, please, no. And it got worse and worse as the days went on. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't talk because I couldn't breathe. I was scared to sleep. Um, it was bad. It was real bad. There were times I legitimately thought I was going to die. I choked on my vomit and almost died. And it's bad. It's real bad. Um, I was always kind of cautious knowing about this because I've known people that died before. And it was like a lot of people are getting sick. And I think I would go to bed looking at the numbers of how many people got sick. And I would wake up and then see like they doubled. And I'm like, oh shit. And when I got it, and it was just like, man, this is not good. I'm in so much pain. I can't talk. I can't breathe. But I've had some really good friends when I told them that I had COVID. The great ones from GSL and Pumpkin, they like dropped me off groceries so I could take care of my son so he can eat. And I had no contact with him. And they did that for like 2 times a week for like 3 weeks. And I live an hour away from them. And they did that with no hesitation just to make sure that we were okay.
Awesome.
truly the great ones.
Yeah. Yeah.
And,
That's where I love right there. That's when you know that they got your back right there.
Yeah. I've met a lot of people in wrestling, and I always tell people, like, I love it when wrestlers say that it's a brotherhood and they don't hold it up. When wrestlers get hurt, when I hear wrestlers that are sad, depressed, I hit up everybody once I see, hey man, you want somebody to talk to? Hey man, I'm here for you,
right.
this and that. Because at the end of the day, man, you need that one person. If it takes one person to get you off the edge, then you know what? I did my job. I read that post. I reached out because I rather talk to you during the day than say something nice about your funeral.
Exactly.
Wow. Yeah, I
And
do. I was thinking the same thing. Like, we had just recently been opening up bars in Austin, and you were somebody specifically that I was worried about because I knew that you did do the door and the bouncer shit, and that's such an in your face gig. When I worked the door at a bar for 2 years, everyone's always up in your face and always in your shit. I thought the same thing. Not a gig I would want to have right now.
I was this close to going to a bar down here in San Antonio, and I was like, Brandon, don't do that. Wait till this pandemic's fully done, because you never know nowadays. So you never know.
And Houston's a shit show. So you'll have the 25% rule. You'll have the rule of people wearing face masks. And you'll have bars that will be like, no, you don't worry about the face mask. Don't worry about the 25% rule. We're going to make our money.
Right.
That's the problem.
And then you have
and they made their money to their hospital bills.
Yeah, and then you'll have waitresses and waiters that will run people through a side door if we're holding the door, and just to let in more people. And I'm like, you don't know who just came in with COVID, and he probably just got 30 to 40, maybe 100 people sick. So
we did.
And after having this, I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead.
Oh no, you go. Man, after having this,
yeah.
I'm sorry, man. You go.
I'm not gonna go.
Remedy go.
Okay. After having this, man, I believe that people that are taking this as a joke and that this isn't serious is a damn jackass. You have people that have died. Man, you've had people that have died from this. You've watched as family members have pretty much withered away in front of you. And they're like, oh, this isn't serious. This isn't this. This isn't that. No, you're a jackass. And if you believe that, you know what, wearing a mask ain't going to do nothing, hey, man, it's a common courtesy. If I wear a mask, I care about your health. I care about your well-being, the same as you do for me. It's a common courtesy, like sneezing and saying, excuse you, bless you, thank you, because your heart skips a beat. You could sneeze and die.
Right.
But also you're sneezing and you're spreading germs. And it's just like, that's covering your mouth and sneezing. You do that to protect the people around you. It's the same thing with the masks.
Yeah.
It's not a joke, guys.
All right, I'm done, because I can go and rant and be mad about this for hours.
Nah, you good, because this message definitely needs to be spread, especially to those dipshits out there that are trying to be above the law, even though they're kissing it above its rear side, to the point where, hey, like you said, if we approach you guys' funeral, we'll be looking up in your grave and say, okay, we warned your ass that this was going to happen, but no, you decide to do against it, so that's on them.
One of the most surreal things that kind of got to me was when I announced I had COVID. I had it for a while. I didn't want anybody to know because I didn't want anybody to worry about me. But I went to the emergency room because I couldn't breathe. So I was like, you know what? If I die, people are going to know it's serious. There's nothing to joke about. I didn't want to die, but people would know. And I fell asleep and I woke up to so many people tagging me in things, talking about like how much of a good guy I am, this and that. And reading them was like I was reading people talking about me when I was dead. And it's surreal. And it really gets to you because I'm like, these people are talking about me like I'm dead. I'm still here.
No, he's saying like the comments that people were making.
Oh,
huh?
Oh, he's such a great guy. And
It's in regards of when he announced that he had the illness, people reach out to him thinking that he was going to lead the Zerb when he truly wasn't. I look at it as a way of them trying to reach out, but at the same time, they should have reached out a little further in regards of making sure your boy was all right. So, because a lot of people do take shit for granted, but others should just definitely... and this is a society thing in general. You got to appreciate what you have around you, because if you don't, the next day you're just gonna realize that it's gonna be one lost soul, and the guilt is gonna come towards you in the end. So those that got buds around you, reach out to them, get one another, and let them know that, hey, we got you. So.
Wow.
Anything else y'all want to know about me? I'm an open book.
I was just gonna kind of still piggyback on that last statement of just why this is kind of why we brought you. One of the reasons why we wanted to bring you on, because people out there, well, that's because I'm healthy, I'm big, I'm tough, I don't need to worry about
you
it.
Could be sorry to cut you off, Josh. You could be the healthiest motherfucker in the world, and you could still not only catch this disease, but you could still die in an instant. It's a matter of what God says and when your time is up. So don't get this shit twisted.
And I've heard professional football players that have gotten it and can't believe. I mean, they almost the same stories like what Remedy's saying. So I mean, y'all think y'all big, bad, tough, immune, Superman? Y'all need to take all this shit serious. And we got right here.
I always used to make the threat to everybody. If they think they have money and stuff like that, and they don't think nothing bad will happen to them, everybody's touchable in life. This is touchable in life. Like, everybody can get this. And I recently saw a video on Facebook of a nurse that had it, and she was documenting herself with it. And she ended up dying from it.
Oh, I saw that today. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
and there was a point where she was trying to talk and she couldn't because she couldn't breathe. That's where I was at for days. I could not breathe. I had a fever that wasn't breaking. I'm over here and I can't, my balance is off. I'm having a hard time walking to the bathroom, let alone trying to get up to go to the bathroom. And I've had people that were like, oh man, just go get air. Just go do this. Just go do that. How can I get air if I can't breathe?
Especially when the air is coming from where the virus is coming from in the first place. So
yeah. But it was just like, it's a nightmare. It's something I don't wish on anybody. And the way that I look at life now more after having this is like when they said, hey man, we're going to shut the bars and restaurants back down. I'm in the bar industry. That's how I make my living.
Right.
That's how I pay my bills, everything. And when they said, hey man, we're going to shut down everything again, I didn't get unemployment the first go around because they'll take care of bartenders, but not bouncers. So when they're like, hey man, we're going to shut this shit down again, I was like, cool. I completely understand. I am for it.
Yeah.
Because it's spreading like that. And then hearing that people are having Corona parties to see who would catch it. Oh man. I always
of people, I swear.
Yeah. Like, if you're that stupid, I'm sorry to say this, but you know what? Maybe you should be X'd out or Darwinism out of the world. If you're stupid enough to play with it, then you should die by it. It's cold to say, but you play with a loaded gun for so long and put it in your face.
Sorry, it was like what Kevin Hart said in one of his stand-ups. So basically, the fact you're doing all this, that's basically a sign that you don't want to live. And that's basically what these ignorant motherfuckers are deciding to do. And so that's on them.
Yeah.
The coronavirus was built to destroy America. It all of a sudden you have this thing where all everybody has to do is mind their own fucking business, respect their own hygiene, and stay out of people's faces. Not great things. These are not things we do well. That's why I want to get it. I think the quote I saw today was everybody's watching America like we all watched Tiger King back in February. It's true because it's the stupidest thing. It's just like, why? Why are you just going out of your way to be ridiculous? You could just stay the fuck home and be normal inside or normal outside even, but you're going out of your way to be fucking ridiculous.
The rest of the fucking world did, and they're already way ahead of the curve.
Yeah, they're all back to normal.
I had to go to Walmart. No, it wasn't. Yeah, I had to go to Walmart.
Sorry,
and
Paul.
I went by myself to go pick up something. And this guy tried to run into the store without a mask. And they're holding him back. Hey, man, you can't come in here without a mask. Can't come in
Was
here
that the
without a
one
mask.
that went viral on Facebook? Because I saw something similar to that. Was that the one you were at?
I don't think nobody was filming, but he was like, it's my God-given right as an American to have free will. He's like, so I don't have to wear that mask. I legitly was contemplated in my head about going over there and just beating the dog shit out of him. Like, I was that because you know what? If you're sick and you're running in here, you're getting everybody sick. I'd rather just beat the hell out of you and do a public service to everybody.
Yeah, exactly. I had felt the same way.
An RSA remedy service announcement.
I like that.
I was eating at McAllister's and a few people walked in without masks, and my immediate reaction was like, they don't turn around and go back to their car. I'm about to get off this table and take them back to their car. Willingly, you know, I'm a large man myself. And yeah, I was. That's my first reaction. I'm like, there's no game. It's not a fucking game. And they went, oh, it's American. Yeah, well, you also don't have the right to go to a store that a family built to sell stuff either. That's not your right. You know what I mean? That's a business. They have the right.
I love my mask. I feel like my mask, it further separates me from the problem, which is other people in society that I don't know and I can't count on to behave themselves. It's just one more filter between me and you. And I was one of the initially I didn't get on the mask train. I was work from home. I was leaving the house like once every 10 days. And it was usually just to go to the gas station, get a drink, come back.
Same here.
Once it got like serious, and people were like, here's masks, do this, do that. I got mine and I went out and I was like, this is actually pretty dope. Nobody looks at me. Nobody talks to me. I can put my headphones in and I'm the only person in the world. And then you start seeing the wave of people that are like, well, I'm not going to wear a mask and I'm going to go to the store and I'm going to put it on Facebook and I'm going to be ridiculous. And I'm just like, man, this is why I don't come out of my house anymore.
Go ahead, Remy.
The way I think of the world now is it's a walking George Carlin joke. Like, I love George Carlin, the comedian, but I just look at it as everything that he said about the way society is and it's going to be, you can see it now.
It's about to become I Am Legend. So.
Bro, so remember when you were younger and you would hear somebody say the earth is flat and everybody would laugh at them because it's been proven that it's round. But now when you say the earth is round, you have a group of people that are like, well, do you have proof? And everybody now believes it's flat. Everybody is reverting back to morons. And it's sad to see.
It's sad. It's really sad. Yeah.
Real sad.
Well, it's like I was telling Ashley the other day, I said, you know, an expression that's just come to my mind a lot recently is in the land of the blind, the man with one eye is king. And that kind of feels like how we really as a nation are acting right now. And it's just really like in the land of the disabled, the less disabled are going to be the ones that are just going to stand above everyone. It's like, we don't have to be disabled at all, you know, and that's the crazy part. We disable ourselves. We put ourselves in this predicament. There's no denying that if we had taken this way more seriously back in February, January, November, we wouldn't be here. But I don't understand. I agree. Paul said Idiocracy. I remember watching that movie years ago, and I condone this, and it sounds insane, and I want to go back in time and just tell myself that then. But that movie is dead on absolutely what's happening to society. It started off as like a stupid comedy, but as time goes on, it's like, oh shit, I think this is a documentary of what's to happen. And
It
it really
became a joke. It literally
Well,
became a joke to all of
I
us,
love you.
unfortunately.
Man, I don't know, man. The way that I just see how everything is, it's just becoming worse and worse. And it's all right. So there was a post that I saw that it explains 2020 in a nutshell, which is weird. So COVID-19 and racism have one thing in common. People don't believe it until it happens to them.
Yep.
Drop the fucking mic.
Yeah.
Drop the goddamn mic. There you have it.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it's sad to say, but it was just like when I got it, I didn't wear a face mask all the time. But when I got it, man, if I pick up fast food, I wear a face mask. When I pick up a drink from a gas station, I hand sanitize my hands. I sanitize the bottle I'm about to drink out of. Bro, I don't play around anymore.
It's everywhere.
So, yeah. And it's trying to survive it. It's everything. It sucks. It really does.
Do you feel like you still have it? Like, I mean, I know to a degree, but like the lingering effects, do you feel like you're still recovering from that physical?
I lost a lot of weight.
Yeah.
I lost a lot of weight. Yeah. Which is good. Yeah, which is good because I needed to lose weight. But
Not that way.
yeah,
But not that way.
I don't have my strength that I used to. I don't have my energy that I used to. I still have a bad cough, which I'm glad I've not coughed on this. But if it gets so bad, I pass out.
You and me both, bro. You and me both, bro, because I'm kind of undergoing something similar where I dropped almost 30, 40 pounds. And even though I'm losing all the weight, I'm still trying to figure out how this is happening because I'm not working out. I'm not eating right. I wake up and all of a sudden I just get weaker and weaker. So it's a matter of checking yourself out to see what's going on and see if you can get your energy back up and going because I'm going through it too, right, myself. So
I feel like with the stay-at-home order first started, I feel like this was a perfect time to better yourself. Read a book, watch a movie, learn a hobby that you've always wanted. I know some people that start learning how to play an instrument, the piano, the guitar. I wanted to pick up sewing to make wrestling gear and all of that. But man, this is a time to better yourself. If you're not bettering yourself when there's nothing to do, you're just going to go insane. And that's what the world did. The world sat there and they have their outfit when the world gets back to normal, and they look at it every day and they're like, all right, the next day, and they're marking at the wall. And then when they opened up businesses, everybody ran out and was stupid. And we're back to where we're at again.
I feel like we don't start taking it seriously soon. It's going to be off the guardrails, out of control.
It's a matter of busting that fucking bubble everybody is still stuck upon and realizing that, hey, society's real and you guys are living this. So if y'all don't act up and do something about it, I have an analogy I always like to say. Everything is just going to keep going in circles. And if you keep fucking shit up, that's going to become a tangled web. So you got to cut that circle off and make it a straight line to press forward and see some change in this world. So,
had to grab some.
Nah, you good.
Somebody being silly. I don't know who that is.
Someone who slept all day.
I know we're talking about COVID. Y'all got any more wrestling questions too? Because I can just sit and be furious for days.
Nah, you good.
You got anything else, Brad?
I mean, I got a ton of questions, but anybody else can ask questions too. If y'all want me to fire them off, I'm happy to do it.
What's your thoughts of Albert just randomly coming nowhere and do that Shield spot at Heavy Metal out of the blue?
So I originally had the Shield spot already planned. Like I knew that I was going to do it. But then when I saw Albert, I'm like, oh, yeah, you're going to help me. So just a random ACH.
Just a random ACH moment, which leads me to my next question. What is your favorite random ACH moment you experience in and out of the ring?
Random ACH moment.
This Negro Albert, I swear.
So, hold on. Hey. So, I'm on a podcast right now. Yeah. Did you cut your hair? Oh. All right. So, random ACH moment. If anybody that really knows us, me, ACH, Ricky Starks. All right. So when are Remedy shirts coming out? I don't know. I'm too broke to make them, but hopefully soon. We're friends in real lives. So after a show, we went to a bar, and we got on the dance floor, and we started doing wrestling moves on the dance floor. And the bouncer yelled at us to stop. And I'm like, all right, we'll stop. And then we did it again. And then he yelled at us. And then I yelled at the bouncer so bad that he stood in the corner the rest of the night.
Oh, scared the hell out of the security.
Yeah. Yeah. That night I also stopped a woman from getting her purse stolen. The guy tried to run out of the club with her purse, and the door frame was shorter, so I had to duck to come in. So I ran out, and I broke the door frame with my head. And there's cops all down 6th Street. So they see me grab the guy and throw him to the ground, and they see that I'm all bloody. And when the cops got there, they're like, what the fuck happened? It was like he stole somebody's purse. I ran through the door. So
I thought you were the bad guy.
Yeah.
It's like he needs a Louis Vuitton. I'm like, hey, I can pawn this.
Oh, man. Anything else y'all want to know?
I have a question.
Yes.
Are you going to work more death matches?
I was supposed to work 2 before the pandemic. I'll work more death matches.
From in a deathmatch scenario, what do you feel like is your limit? Where do you feel like that's where I stop? You know what I mean? Like, I know I've seen you step on Legos and thumbtacks. I know I've seen you take the bare boards. Our light tubes in the picture, our barbed wire. What
do you say no?
Say no to drugs.
The gusset boards, the boards that have the blades sticking out. That Sky Delacrimosa goes, yeah, I'm not going to take that.
I mean, let Sky do it. He's got to do something. So take that bump.
Yeah.
We could do a Sky versus Remedy match where you give Sky the gusset plates.
Like I said, he's got to do something. But anyway,
here's the thing. I'm like, if I'm not willing to take it, then I'm not willing to do it. So
that's fair.
Point blank.
Yeah. I'll just, hey man, Masada gave me the blessing so I could just put bamboo sticks in his head.
Because it's fucking Masada. That dude is immune to pain, considering all the death matches he did over the years.
Yeah. So a perfect thing that not a lot of people know, or they don't know in general, and everybody can hear it. If Masada does not give you the blessing to do the skewers, do not do them.
point blank.
Do not do them at all because he will find you and he will hurt you.
I believe that.
Yeah.
100%.
Hero words have never been spoken.
I can still reminisce the days that I beat Masada in Connect 4 back in the Hooligans days, but that's a different story. And we talked about Virtual Fighters. He said how much it sucked, and I'm just like, go play that game and you see how technical that game is. You'll probably learn more wrestling moves from that game than Tekken. Just saying.
I need to play Virtual Fighter then.
Please do. I was just on it a few weeks ago. That game is low-key underrated, and especially when you play the wrestlers, all the maneuvers they're pulling off, the F5s. I remember one of the characters did the Kobashi chops in the freaking wall. I was like, yeah, Sega definitely watches some New Japan.
Dang old dang, brother. Shit, man. Look, dang.
Dang.
So what's your favorite promotion to work at?
What's my favorite what?
What's your favorite promotion to work at?
I like ACW.
Yeah?
I've been there for forever. It was a place I've always wanted to be. I like ACW. I like heavy metal. Huh?
2011 to today.
Yep. I like heavy metal. Heavy metal's the reason why I got back into wrestling.
Thank you, heavy metal.
I've always wanted to go to Inspire. I've done one match at Inspire, and that was my way out of wrestling. I think that was my last match before I just got mad and quit.
I'm trying to remember which one, because I'm not sure if I was there or not.
It was a battle royal.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
The main event was ACH versus what's his name? He goes by Isaiah, or is it? Yeah, Isaiah Swerve.
Oh, Steve Strickland.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was there, and that is when I unfortunately fucked up my teeth. But that's a different story, different time. But anyway.
But that was my last match before I got mad and just quit.
So that's a promotion you would want to go back to? Is that what you were saying? Or
because what they saw Yule, and I believe this go around, I'm completely different. So they have to worry about me now.
And since we're talking about wrestling promotions, is there any promotions, not just here in Texas, but in general, that you want to be a part of to get your shot out there and get your name out there?
Yes, there's one I really want to go to now. I'm interested in it. AEW.
Sweet. Well, those are the questions my brother was asking.
I'm interested in AEW.
Speaking of AEW, here's an AEW related question.
Yeah, would you ever fight Joey Janela? Or what's your thoughts on Joey?
I have no thoughts about him.
But you would fight him.
It's nothing bad. It's nothing bad. I watched one match of his when he wrestled Steve Arena at Inspire. I thought it was cool. I thought it was a good match. But other than that, I'm like, I have no thoughts. I've heard good things. I've heard bad.
So who in AEW?
Huh?
Sorry. I'm sorry.
No, what? No. Y'all talk.
Who in AEW would you want to face? Like, who would be the one? I know everyone. You said everyone has a list of 10. We don't need 10, but
please say Big Swole.
Would I fight Big Swole? I would like to face Lance Archer. You say Joey Janela. They have so many people on the roster that they don't show a lot of. So,
I mean, they got 2 hours once a week.
Yeah,
and they got Dark. It's just an hour and a half now.
That's right.
YouTube.
They got Dark.
But if I got to say like local promotions I want to work at, I don't know. I don't like. This is how I feel about wrestling. It's great to be everywhere, but it's not going to mean as much. Now, the places that I do go, I feel like it means more because you're not going to see me at the next show next weekend on a Saturday and Sunday. You'll probably see me once a month.
Right.
Or twice a month. So I don't feel like oversaturating myself because when I do, everybody will be like, well, I'm not going to go to that show because he'll be at the next show next weekend. No, I won't. I'll be at work.
I kind of like that. If I'm being real with you, I mean, it's not that no one likes seeing we all like seeing our favorite guy at the show, but I also agree. It kind of, to speak to what you said at the beginning, you're the beast. Everyone should want to slay you. Well, the beast isn't always walking around looking for a fight. Sometimes he just shows up and you got to deal with that shit because you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, my dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like that aspect of Remedy.
It's like what is it? Sting. It took Sting how long to join the WWE? But you saw everybody else that got there. You saw everybody else pop up. And they're like, well, when is he going to? When is he going to? And for a minute, would have been never. I feel like popping up at certain places means more. Because say if you'll see me at Inspire, everybody thinks of me as an Anarchy guy. When they saw me at Heavy Metal, they always thought of me as an Anarchy guy. Because for so long, I didn't want to go anywhere else. I didn't see the thrill.
Yeah. Like I said, it just makes it special. And it just makes it bigger and meaningful instead of just time to make the donuts kind of gig,
Yeah.
Well, I also think too, the next chapter after COVID is going to look a lot different.
I feel like I've told everybody. I'm sorry, I'm messing with stuff. I've said a lot of times that everybody needs to hit the ground running when wrestling starts back up. They need to show where they improved at. They need to show what they've done. If nobody's done anything, guess what? They go back and train. Fix yourself up. We should always train. But I feel that wrestling should hit the ground running. I don't feel like the way that it's been going the past couple of years, it's been slow. It's been, oh man, you're going to see these two guys wrestle. But you see these two guys as a tag team 5 minutes down the street. I feel like everything has to start anew and everybody has to really hit it.
I will say that was one piece of feedback that I kind of had coming into the indie scene, like back into it. Because I remember indies, I think it was like 2004 when my first indie show I went to. But coming back into it a few years ago, at first it was a lot of people all over the place. But then after a while, I was like, okay, are you a bad guy here or are you a good guy here? Like it became tough to remember who you were at what promotion. That's why as an intro level fan a while back, I really appreciated a gimmick that superseded the promotion, kind of like that Beast gimmick. When Remedy walks in the room, to me, I know that it's just because I was newer to the scene, but I never saw you as an Anarchy guy. I always just saw, like, I try to look past that because, again, I know guys get booked in different places, and I want to enjoy a talent for what that talent puts out. Heel, babyface, deathmatch, high flyer, whatever it may be. So it is nice to see gimmicks that kind of transcend that as the beast, the monster, or, whatever it may be.
Otherwise, it makes for awkward moments for us as fans because I even had an experience with Andy Dalton. He was the face. We saw Ring of Honor. We're cheering him on, and yeah. And then we go to Corpus, and he comes out, and I sit at the entrance. He's coming out. I'm like trying to high five him. Get your hands off of me,
Right.
I'm like, well, shit. I guess you're working the fucking heel then. Fuck you. You know what I mean? But it's kind of like, well, they kill it either way. But it's just it makes for awkward moments on our side,
especially when it's just out of nowhere.
like Turnhill. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
make a story instead of all this shit that's just thrown together. Corbus does good.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to badmouth Corbus by any means. I love
I
DCWA.
I always let everybody know this is me. So either you take me at base or you don't have to. And I
Like
tell
a Mary
people all
J.
the
Blige
time,
song.
like, huh?
It's like a Mary J. Blige song. Just take me as I am.
Yeah. And I've had some promoters that'd be like, well, no, I want to do this. Well, that's not what I'm going to do. So we can just respectfully decline and you take care. And it's funny because I'll get bad mouthed, and then next thing I know, they'll be like, "Hey, brother, you wanna come work this show and do what you do?" And it's like, no, I'm good. I'm gonna stay home.
When the freaking politics takes over, and then all of a sudden they finally see what they've missed out on. That's when they finally tuck their toes between the legs and one, they come knocking at your door until you realize, hey, get the security out here so they can get the fuck out of my house.
I always find it funny because before I left wrestling the first time, nobody thought about me at all. I was an afterthought to a lot of people. I was when I was popped up in conversations, they're like, he's good. And I left and I had to rebuild myself. And when I came back and I was different, everybody wants to talk about. But I'm sorry to cut this conversation short. I'm getting death stares. I have to go. I'm in trouble.
We got way more time out of you than I thought we were going to. I was super stoked about it.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, you are now
You know
the
what? I'm down to do a round two.
Oh yeah, man. We'll stay in touch,
I'm
brother.
down to do a round two.
Yeah.
All right, y'all take care.
Thanks, Remedy.
All right,
Peace.
Don't worry about it.
Good interview. I enjoyed it.
That was amazing. We could have kept going for another hour easy. Like that. Could have kept talking.
That went smooth.
Super chilled, super laid back. Like I said, 2011 today. And I gotta be honest, I didn't know he took that hiatus that he did. But when he came back and started off as Yule and then find his identity in wrestling for him to just be him, and that usually happens a lot where when your inexperience gets the best of you and you just listen and just go with the flow, that usually happens. But when you finally got comfortable to where, and that's what Remedy just did, it's like, hey, this is me and let me show you how I am. And basically sky was the limit to him for his second come up in the Christ. So boom.
Well, now we can get back to this question that was asked about an hour. I didn't want to leave it out. I don't know if Dave's still watching.
Everything on the wall behind me. I love this question. Oh man, yep. I never. So funny story. While I picked this, we do all the Zoom meetings at work, and I've been working in here, and I went no camera because I didn't really want to tell anybody about what was on the wall because I knew that I would be a total goob about it. Honestly, I would have to say my favorite thing on the wall right now is not on the big wall. It's actually on the it's on the deathmatch wall, and that's the I don't know. Tell me when the used thumbtack bat from the deathmatch journey, and that's a picture of Dimitri using my bear. That's my deathmatch bear. That bear was full of tacks.
Yeah.
And I gave it. So that was probably my favorite thing. But I will say, while it's relevant, I did get Remedy. I made this custom picture for Remedy, and it was. I'm sorry, I'm doing terrible things. I'm looking at it the worst way. Anyway, sorry. Okay. It's a custom picture of Remedy nailing each chair at a show. So that's probably my favorite stuff on the wall. Great question. So Matt Seidel owes me $10, and I have made it my personal goal to get it from him if I have to visit him at a retirement home when he's old and I'm old. to get my fucking $10, but I'm gonna get it.
Cash App. That's all
you should book Matt Seidel so I can get my $10 back. Of course, I'll probably at that point be such a weenie. I'll be like, hey man, I'll buy another one. It's fine.
I was like, let me give him a call. I'm pretty sure I can get his number.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still chasing somebody that owes me money. We're about to make a movement.
Nice. Well, you see in my background, Miss Deborah McMichael right over here. And I'm not sure if I told the story on the pod, but my dad's wife used to work with Miss McMichael at a client of hers with the firm back in 2000. And that's when I was presented this right here. And then years later, I think it was Dallas Mania weekend. That's where I formally introduced myself to Miss Deborah McMichael herself, and real sweetheart. I don't know if it's in the air, but real sweetheart. So yeah. And on the other side, I can't really show much because if I turn the light on, it's gonna look crappy. But remember doing a school portrait for speech class, and this was at the time when I was just young and just in the bubble. Basically, got the Shawn Michaels, the John Cena, the Rey Mysterios, the Ron Van Dam, the Tori Wilson, the Litas, piled up with my church pastor and fighting game girls. But that's another story, another time. But I hope everybody's over the age of 18 because I'm about to show you something right quick. Hold on.
No, keep your pants on, please. Well, while he's doing that, my favorite thing I have on my wall that I haven't hung up a lot of stuff, but of course I have a ton of.
I'm gonna move my.
Won't be able to show it, but my poster I got at the first.
There you go. Fuck the TV right there. But you see my old portrait of Athena right over there? That was back in like 2011 when she was doing like a little shoot right there for one of her main photo shoots that she was doing back there. And the best thing she said right there in that autograph was to my sweetheart Brandon Bray. And this was like a year after I joined the indie scene out here in Texas. So and since then me and her have been tight even to this day. So yeah, so and the rest of the 8x10s, they're in the book somewhere, so I ain't pulling that shit out.
Yeah, I was trying to say, but you were talking over me, you couldn't hear me. I got the poster from the first Jericho cruise that I got signed by pretty much all the talent.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's on my wall.
I'll be right back.
And then I also got the Andy Kaufman, Jerry the King Lawler poster, like reprint.
Oh, hell yeah.
So yeah, I got a few things I'm adding on. But
nice.
Right now,
much better.
Boys, I gotta run. It's 9:30. I got some stuff I gotta work out for tonight for the fresh in the morning.
All right, fellas. Well, let me just reiterate, anyone that watches this later or watching now, if y'all have any ideas for segments, any talent that y'all want us to bring into the pit, we got contacts. I got contacts. We know people that know everybody.
In other words, they don't wear glasses, so that's why they got contacts.
I don't wear contacts.
But you got contacts, though.
Not those kind of contacts. My eyes are beautiful blue and work perfectly. Why are you wearing with your glasses? Anyway,
hey, I need to see.
Hit Brad up. Any ideas y'all got, let us know. Otherwise, thank you guys for joining me in the pit. And we will see y'all next week. Hold on.
Later, guys.
Deuces.
Peace.